now brewing up for second place. We've seen it chance a few times now, and probably still ticking down. So we just
Hello, everybody. Welcome down to the assembly area. Yes, it is time for race one of the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup here at Snetterton. Oh, yes, I'm excited for this one. Well, I've got Paul Walsh with me. We're going to take you through the action, aren't we, Paul?
Oh, 100%. It's going to be an absolute thriller today, ladies and gentlemen. You're in for a treat.
Good grid as well. 25 cars, eh?
Oh, 100%. It's going to be a packed grid at a Snetterton circuit that brings out the best in everybody.
Oh, it certainly does, doesn't it? Right. Nobody wants to see her. There's no one here from the drivers, don't there? Let's go for a walk. I've just seen Steve McDermott. He qualified in second place. Of course, he does often race in another MG championship, but less said about that, the better. Steve, it's great to see you, mate. How's it? Qualifying went all right as well, didn't it?
Yeah, not too bad. New car. It's a fact-finding mission, really. So
ready for next season? You're coming back next season?
Well, I don't know. I'm not. It's undecided.
If you win, yeah.
Yeah, it's undecided where I'm going, but yeah, maybe something else in my other car.
Steve, stay here. Stay here. Stay with us. Come on.
The thing is, the live feed's brilliant with Mark. You know what I mean?
I'll probably be there as well.
It's pretty. It is brilliant. So yeah, new car. A few niggles, but getting to grips with it. And
can't be that bad. You're second. Can't be that many niggles.
Yeah. Well, it would have been pole, but I had a bit of an off moment, and it was my fastest lap, so they disqualified me for it. So I would have been on pole, but nearly.
You've got 20 minutes to correct it, mate. It's good to see you. Listen, Ian, come on, Ian. Stop pretending to be busy so you don't have to talk to me.
I haven't not been busy all week. We've had a week from hell.
Have you? What's happened?
Sorting out the car, do a clutch, gearbox mount was broken, couldn't get the gearbox out. So me and Doug, bless him, Doug's over there. We're on it till 10 o'clock Wednesday night. I was on it till 10 o'clock Thursday night. The van broke down on the way here. So Jake and Bob come and rescued me from Essex, and Dave came to take my trailer back. So it's all a bit hectic, but we're going to try and get some smiles. We've got my mum stuck in hospital, not well at all, so it's been a bit crap.
I hope she's all right. I
hope you can feel better, Mum. I hope she hears this. So yeah, it's been a bit rubbish, but we had a good time in qualifying. I've got these lovely fast cars in front of me. Let's hope they get away nicely. Let's hope Ian doesn't get away nicely. And it'll be good. And I can't believe how well everyone's helped me this week. It's been brilliant. You know, everyone's helped me, Andrew and Jake.
It's the best of motorsport come together at time.
Doesn't this car look stunning?
It does look good.
That is the best looking car here by a long way.
There we go. Ian, best of luck, mate. Thanks for talking to us.
Look lovely, don't they?
Hey, yours looks lovely. Everybody looks like. Oh, Ian Dowler's here as well. I'll just grab a quick word.
Cheers, mate.
Do you know, three Ians here. How cool was that?
We are going to have a blast
out
here. We are going to have a mega time here.
We're
in with a fast in a straight line and slow round corners. So we're in amongst them.
You like this place, don't you?
Yeah. 2ZR190 is going to disappear into the distance, and it's going to be left to the rest of us to play about. I've got to beat Mr. Bolton. I've got to do it.
He's got to do it. Right, I'm going to hand this over to Paul. You're going to grab a word with another couple of drivers, right?
Oh, indeed. And as we just try and get a word with the number 69 driver of Lance Ellington. Lance, have you got a moment for a quick word?
Yeah, sure. Now, this is very nice. I might adopt this, actually, for my new stage mic.
Oh, a fair play. Well, it sounds like you do a little bit on the side other than racing at Rovers when it comes to stage work.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like you've got to try and earn a living to be able to go racing. So it's, yeah.
Oh, 100%. And with regards to 220 today, when it pulled up earlier, I must admit, eyes were turning aplenty. It's a lovely car, and well, it's got a fantastic driver behind it. How you feeling for this race?
Well, I'm excited for it. I'm very aware of Ian, obviously championship positions and everything. So I just want to go out there and have a lot of fun, and just come back with a smile on my face.
Well, you're smiling currently, so that's a good sign. Good luck in the race.
Shai, thank you very much. Thank you.
All the best. So we'll go a little bit further along, ladies and gentlemen. We'll now come to what is I believe our number 63 driver. And as we come on through, I'm going to see if we can get a quick word here with our driver. Have we got a brief moment for you, Mr. Lowry? Have you got a quick moment to have a chat? How are you feeling for today?
A little bit anxious. There's a lot of other quicker cars around us. I was quite surprised to qualify fifth, but there's a bit of pace in the car, so we'll see what we can do.
Well, indeed. So qualifying fifth means third row of the grid, and of course this circuit, plenty of overtaking opportunities. Anywhere you've got in mind where you can make the positions?
Probably down the straight, because we got a V6, so it's got a lot of straight line speed.
Oh, indeed. So with that speed, does that mean it's going to be a little bit tenuous in the corners?
No, we're pretty quick through the corners. The Toyos tend to go off a bit quick, but you need to look after them. But other than that, yeah, there's a few opportunities.
So time management's going to be key in that need for speed. We wish you the best of luck going into today.
Thanks very much.
Take care. So coming a little bit further on down, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the number 14 next up, which will be in the very capable hands of Dennis Robson. Dennis, a quick word if we may? All good, thank you. How about yourself?
Oh, we're okay. You just got sat in the car fairly early, so just get ready for it to all kick off. So looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting start. I think that's the always the most dangerous part. But hopefully we can get the first couple of corners out of the way. We can probably try and hold position, but I don't want to get too involved with the Class B title chasers. So, yeah, we'll do our best.
We wish you all the best for the race. Good luck and see you at the checkered flag.
Hopefully, yes. Thank you very much.
Well, hearing them from a very happy Dennis Robson, so he's feeling quite confident, it must be said, and well, absolutely packed down here in the paddock. We're now going to come to our number 70 driver, which I believe is none other than Dan Ludlow. Dan going into today, of course, right up there in the Class B Championship on 92 points, about the drop scores accounted for. A big race for yourself. Caught up with you earlier today. How are you feeling now that you're ready to go racing?
Well, I'm just going to drive as quick as I can. I know that Ian Bolton's I think he qualified a second in front of me. We've made a few adjustments to the car. Not sure whether I'm going to find a second, but you know, it's a race, so we just see what happens. Anything can happen. See what happens. I'm just going to drive as quick as I can, and yeah, who knows?
And I've asked, it's been something that's been plaguing other classes of racing today. Obviously, we had a lot of cloud and a bit of sunshine as well. Is that going to mix things up in terms of the temperatures you're expecting on the track and how the tyres grip up?
I think this is perfect. This is perfect conditions for racing, really. So it's obviously it's not raining, and it's cooled off a little bit. So I think that'll serve us quite well for the tyres.
Well, we wish you the best of luck going racing and see you at the checkered flag.
Oh, thank you very much.
So I had a moment there. I'm going to pass back to Ian now, who will carry on.
Great, Paul. Thank you so much for that. Great stuff. I just want to go over here because I want to speak to Alan Forster. Now, Paul, you're with me, actually. I just want to explain over here in the Montego. Earlier in the season, Alan went out at Brands Hatch with us in the opening race, and he said, I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to start from the pit lane. Well, I think the season's gone quite well for Alan, so let's just have a quick chat with him. Alan, how are we doing? Now, you may remember we spoke at Brands Hatch early in the season. You said, I was going to start for pit lane, I'm just going to take it easy. We're beyond that now, aren't we, quite a bit?
Yeah, Brands' performance was surprising. I wasn't expected to get as far as I did. Very competitive around there. He is a little bit different. There's a lot more twists and turns, obviously a longer track. And it's the chassis that lets it down compared to the ZR and the ZS, which have got much more advanced suspension. So around here, unfortunately, it is at a bit of a disadvantage. So
you're a little bit further back than you would want to be?
Yeah, definitely. But I think it just shows where we are with this car. If you take it to Brands, on the straights and everywhere else, it's probably even faster at the very top end than the ZRs, which is why I had such great performance there. But it's just round the corners. The ZR, it's a massively underrated chassis. It's fantastic handling, great balance, and this just isn't quite there. It's not a million miles away, but it's just not as good as a ZR. So I am actually thinking at the minute whether I should take a pit lane start. What do you reckon?
No. What does everybody reckon? Right now, watching this, should quickly comment below. Should Alan Forster take a pit lane start? Yes or no? The correct answer is no.
The only thing is, if you could just check the body panels on the car next to me, either side, and then review your comments.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alan, best of luck. Thanks for talking to us, mate. Really appreciate it. Do you want this shut? Right, so I just want to grab a quick word of Peter Birchall just over here. He's back racing this weekend as well. Not too long to go before the Cherished Vehicle Insurance Entry Cup Race 1 is going to get underway. I'm just going to pop in here if that's... Sorry, guys. I'm just going to squeeze in. Oh, Peter, how are we feeling?
Yeah, good. Resolved the problem, so it's a crankshaft sensor, so that's gone in the bin, so another one in.
Top 15 still the target?
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And
now, I was chatting to a couple of people in the media centre earlier, and we were talking about best ever laps that have ever been done. Yeah. Somebody was saying, I think it was Senna from 5th to 1st at Donington Park, wasn't it? You're going to make up more than 5 places on the first lap, aren't you?
I'm not going to promise anything, but I'll give it a damn good try.
It's not man, Vader. Best of luck out there. Thanks for talking to us, mate. Good to see you. Sorry, buddy. There we go. Right. Paul, I think it's almost time for these guys to get going. I think checkered flag has fallen on the race ahead, so we are going to make our way up to Agostini. Whilst we do that, we've got a little video to play for you as well. Let's walk and talk, shall we, actually? Because these guys are out last month at Cadwell Park. We weren't able to be there. I did have a guy up there, though, collecting some footage. So let's take a look at that, shall we? The MG Cup from Cadwell Park. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Roll VT. There you go, that was the Cherished Insurance MG Cup from Cadwell Park last month. Great to see the guys out there. Big thank you to Jack Oliphant as well for collecting all of that footage for us as well. Right, so on your screen now is actually the grid order for the Cherished Insurance MG Cup. We've just heard from a number of the drivers down there, Paul, and do you have the grid order up, or do you want me to go through it? Because I do. It's on pole position, number 17, Jake Fraser-Burns. In second, Steve McDermott in the number 77. We've just spoke to him, got a bit of feedback from the speaker as well. A lot of fun. In third place, you just spoke to Lance Ellington. How was he?
Yeah, so Lance was doing it pretty good, feeling quite confident for the race, and we're all set to enjoy it, really. And it must be said, I think a lot of drivers down here not going into this race expecting huge achievements, but at the same time feeling as though, you know what, they're going to take it by the 20 minutes, just take it lap after lap and see what comes out come the checkered flag, which I think is a good way to start off the weekend, giving them back to, is the season finale, albeit there's 2 rounds of racing, not just one here. So they do have one more race tomorrow in which to try and make up some lost time. But on top of that, Lance did seem to be quite happy with the way the car was, and that's a good thing as well, and it's a stellar car with that 220.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, it certainly is. So let's keep going through the grid, shall we? In fourth place, Ian Bolton. We just heard from him. In fifth is Simon Larry. In sixth, Ian Dowling. In seventh, Dennis Robinson. In eighth is Dan Ludlow. In ninth, our good mate Dave Nixon. In 10th, Carl Robinson. In 11th, Andrew Burns. In 12th, Stuart Tranter. In 13th, Jack Chapman. In 14th, Stuart Emmett. In 15th, Ashley Woodward. Watch out for him. Expect him to fly. In 16th is Chris Bolton. In 17th is Alan Forster. In 18th is G. Warner. In 19th, Richard Sargent. 20th is Andrew Heron. 21st is Paul Drake. 22nd is Terry Gaskin. 23rd, Ian Cochrane. 24th is Peter Birchall. Expect him to come flying through. And in 25th, we have Stephen Atkinson. That is your runners and riders for the Cherished Insurance MG Cup Race 1 here live at Snetterton. Now, we're just making our way to get the best possible image for you. So, of course, we do all this off one corner and off one camera, and we're down at Agostini, actually, aren't we? So we can give you a good look, actually, at all of the action here as it happens live. Going to go through. We've got TSL to help us out as well, haven't we, Paul?
Well, indeed, praise be to TSL in the fact that we have that to keep us on track with regards to where our drivers are, albeit where we're currently based. We can see about 75% of the circuit. It's a beautiful view here up towards Agostini corner, because we can't quite see the start-finish line, all 30, perhaps the run out of the final corner. But still, we'll take what we've got here, ladies and gentlemen, and give you the best possible presentation we can. Indeed, we're only moments away from going MG Cup racing, and well, it is going to be a spectacular one. The conditions are lovely. The sun's just been obscured by the cloud a little bit, but still, nice day out here in the heart of Norwich, and everybody is set and ready. And I think you'll agree with me, Ian, we couldn't ask for better conditions today.
You know, it's lovely, isn't it? It really is. The sun has disappeared, but that's actually doing us a bit of a favour, isn't it? I could probably do without getting too much of a tan here. Although there is a bit of breeze, but it is September, I suppose. Charles is cold, you big wimp. It's not that cold at all. In fact, Paul here, you've just seen him, he's in a T-shirt. Paul, you're a brave man, I tell you. Brave man indeed. But I mean, where else would you rather be on a Saturday afternoon, Paul?
I'll be honest with you, I might be a brave man, but I'm actually regretting taking my sweatshirt off only moments ago. But still, where else would I be on a Saturday afternoon? I can't imagine anywhere else, to be honest, other than at circuit side, because it's an absolutely brilliant day for racing. And, well, not too long to go. Indeed, all of the spectators absolutely hyped up as well for the racing here. That's just exactly what you want at this Snetterton circuit. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, whilst you may be tuning in, whether from work or at home, in the warmth, we're out here in the bit of a wind. I'll pass back to Ian.
Okay, I'm going to sneak up on her.
Hi ladies, how are we doing?
Are we having fun? Are we having a good time?
Yeah, very nervous at the moment.
Who are we here to support?
Dowler, of course.
Oh, yes, my boy. I just spoke to him. He's fine.
Is he all right?
He says he's going to beat Ian Bolton.
I hope, well, fingers crossed, I hope so. I really do hope so.
Right, Lo, I need a favour. You can join me on co-coms for this one, yeah? Come on. No, I'm only joking.
I was going to say don't.
Enjoy. There we go, a bit of support there for Ian Dowler. We just heard from him as well, Paul, too. Just a quick reminder, everybody, for watching this right now. If you are at Live Sport Now on YouTube, that's our YouTube channel. Please do hit subscribe whilst you're there. If you comment there as well, we can see your comments. We can put them on screen as well, just so long as you keep them clean. Mind you, I haven't said that, even if you don't. There's a fair chance we'll put them up anyway. Just get your comments coming in. We want to hear from you. If you're not watching it at Live Sport Now, that is the best place to do it, by the way. There is a link in the body of this broadcast. Give it a click. It'll take you straight through there. You can find out more about the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup anytime you like. There's also a link in the body of the broadcast. But perhaps don't click it until after this race. 20 minutes of MG Cup action and 25 cars, Paul.
Oh, indeed, it's a packed grid, as I think I can hear some engines roaring up off the start-finish line for what will be the warm-up or the formation lap, if you will. Indeed, we've got green flags waving, so it does mean they're on that formation lap. And with 25 cars out in the Snetterton circuit, of course, one of the longest circuits in the United Kingdom, spanning in around the region of just between 2.5 to 3 miles, if my memory serves me correctly. And that means there's plenty of space for overtaking, plenty of space for battles. And we got to see in some of our series earlier on today, those battles, particularly in the run to turn number 2 at Wilson, which our drivers are just making their way through right now. Also here where we're perched at Agostini, it's always a great place for battling under braking. And then with the speed disparity between certain cars and classes, also the run down the back straight from what is Williams onto the Brundle and Nelson complex, they're down the Bentley straight. And well, that difference in straight line speed commented on by a number of our drivers in the assembly area early when we had the chance to interview them. And Ian, just from your perspective, of course, it's going to be one of those races whereby some of our drivers will be very fast through this infield section, but as soon as they come to the straights, they're going to be left vulnerable compared to those who've got all the speed.
Yeah, I'm expecting the Tomcats to do well today. Lance Ellington, as you can see, lining up in third place. We often see the Tomcats. They suit high-performance circuits. So the Bentley Straight here at Snetterton's going to play, and obviously the start-finish line as well. This is an area they might struggle a little bit, but they'll get the legs out and keep going. We spoke to Steve McDermott as well. He's not happy with the car, despite putting it in second place. I think there's a lot more to come from him. I've known Steve quite a while now. He also races with the MG Owners Club. And I just wonder, Paul, if he's a typical race driver, perhaps doing a little bit of sandbagging here.
It could quite possibly be, to be fair. If he's saying outwardly that he's not happy with the car, surely he's got to be happy to some extent to put it on the front row of the grid in second place. I mean, if not, I guess he's chasing perfection perhaps, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. And perhaps channeling that perfection may come out on top here if he can find the move on the open lap. Perhaps we're going to expect him to just take the lead and try and break away with it. But of course, there's always that element of a safety car which could bunch the field back up. And well, we have had a couple of safety cars here today, and they've taken away some of the racing. And when it's a 20-minute race, plus you put a safety car on top of that, suddenly it goes from a sprint to a super sprint. But I think you'll agree, Ian, we don't really want to see a safety car. We want to see the full 20 minutes of action.
Yeah, no, we certainly don't, do we? We saw one in the Cockshoot Cup race where we did that a little bit earlier. By the way, if you do want to go back and watch that race, you can. Wherever you're watching this now, you can just go back and catch the Cockshoot Cup race, unless you're watching it at the MG Cup Facebook page, but obviously you can't. But if you go to Live Sport now, as I said again, on YouTube, you can go back and watch that Cockshoot Cup race. Like you said, though, unfortunately, Helen Waddington's car broke down, didn't it, at the final corner coming out. In fact, quite dramatically, the engine let go. A lot of oil went down. It did bring out the safety car for quite an extended period, and as we know, as you said before, it is a long lap round here. I mean, it was what, 2:20, I think Lance did in qualifying for the MG Cup. I can't remember what the times the Cockshoot Cup were doing, but I imagine they're roughly fairly similar. Chuck a safety car into it, you're looking at what, 4.5 minutes to do a lap. You've got 20 minutes. It really ate into the time. It was a shame. The Cockshoot Cup do go again tomorrow, so let's really hope that there's no safety car in this one.
Oh, indeed, fingers crossed. But as our drivers make their way on through what will be the last couple of corners now and getting ready to go to the grid, we took you through that grid order earlier and everyone getting ready to line up. And I think our drivers now be absolutely itching for that green flag. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few nerves in the cockpits of the cars where they'll just be waiting for that lights out and away we go sequence. And well, it's going to be a battle into turn number one. Of course, there are championships to be decided here this weekend, particularly when you do look at classes B and C. And just to give you that reminder, Dan Ludlow is the championship leader in Class B at the moment on 92 points ahead of Ian Bolton at 89 points. And then we do have in P3 for Class B in Dowlot on 84 points. That's about drop scores being accounted for, but it's very close between them. And in Class C, Ashley Woodward is your championship leader on 105 to Chris Bolton's 85 and David Nixon's 69. So it's a two-way fight in Class C. And, well, it means we've got plenty of battling on the circuit to play out. And, Ian, when we've got championships winding down to the very end of the season, that always does lead to a little bit of a spectacle, particularly this is, in a way, the calm before the storm. We've got one more race tomorrow as well, and I think they'll all be treading carefully today.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to go down to the wire, isn't it? It's going to go down to tomorrow. Nobody's going to want to damage a car here. Just a quick note on the overall championship as well. You mentioned the class. Ashley Woodward, the leader on 105 points. It's actually Dan Ludlow who's second. He's in Class B, but this is for the overall championship. So Ashley Woodward, the overall championship leader in Class C. And overall, Dan Ludlow's in B, but he's actually just behind Ashley Woodward in the overall championship. He's on 92 points, I believe. Ashley Woodward on 105 coming into Snetterton. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check with Peter after the race whether there's drop scores or not. So, of course, don't take our word for it. Do head over to the MG Cup social media channels because we'll probably have a habit of getting a little bit overexcited and maybe getting our maths wrong, Paul.
Oh, quite possibly, and definitely everything we say is provisional until confirmed by the officials after the race. So therefore, don't take everything we say as gospel. And well, I can tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, my time I've been known to get a few names wrong in terms of pronunciations and also get a few champion crownings wrong. But we are underway. Green flag at the start-finish line now, and our drivers are making their way up towards turn number one. And we're waiting for them to make their way up towards Wilson Corner at the moment, and they will start to make their way into the clearing in the far image shortly. And there they go as they make their way through. Looks like a safe start for the drivers. Midfield definitely bunching up. I think we've got a free wide almost there into Wilson, but as they come on around the hairpin, first time cold brakes, cold tyres, so therefore everyone's going to be a little bit tentative. And we can see there a few two wides as they wind their way on through. And charging away now up towards Palmer Corner at turn number 3, making the way on down. And as they head in towards the braking zone here, we've got a battle for P3 unfolding. Can't quite discern who it is at the moment. But as they make their way down towards Agostini, well, definitely a safe start for everyone. But now they're charging into the braking zone, Ian.
Oh, look at this. I'm trying to see who that is. Is that Steve McDermott leading the way? Yes, it is. Look at Lance Ellington. He's actually dropped space. He's going toe-to-toe with Ian Bolton as they come round. But it is Steve McDermott who leads from Fraser Burns in second. Ellington's got himself back up to third. It looks like he dropped down a place and got overtaken by Ian Bolton. Where's Peter Birchall? He's on the move at the back as well. Keep your eyes peeled for him. Everybody getting through safely, though, Paul, so far.
Indeed, it's a rough and rugged start for many, but they've all made it on through and now racing their way up towards Oggy's and Williams here. We've still got a couple of 2 wides to be sorted out into the Oggy's corner at turn number 6, particularly in the battle to be just inside the top 10 at the moment. But as they make the way on to the back straight now, it's McDermott who leads. Break the toe, but as they make the way down, we've got a bit of battle further on down. I do believe that might be Ludlow versus Robinson, and as they come charging on down here up to the next braking zone they go, and now going into Brundle into Nelson here, where it looks a line astern for many, but further on down the order we have a battle for the 55 and the 29. 55 getting ahead there, that's in the fight for what is essentially, I do believe, around P16, but as they make them to braking zone, well in, they're all making the way now towards the end of the first lap, but definitely a thriller.
Right, thriller. You said that there. There's 2 yellow Tomcats, so I must apologise. I got confused. Lance Ellington started in 3rd, dropped down the order. It was Stuart Tranter who started in 12th, was coming through the order there. He's got himself up to 3rd. He's in the invitation class. He hasn't raced much this year. We know he's a feisty racer indeed. He's proved it so far, hasn't he? We are keeping an eye on that battle between the 2 Ians, Ian Dowler and Ian Bolton. That really matters too. But drama here on the first lap. It is exciting here at Snetterton. It's the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Race 1. 1 lap down. Oh my word, it is McDermott who does lead from Fraserburn. As I said, Stuart Tranter in that yellow Tomcat's got himself up 9 places on the opening lap. Senna who? Ian Bolton is in 4th, Ian Dowler is 5th, then Ludlow in 6th, Ellington's dropped down to 7th, Robinson is 8th, Larry is 9th, Emmett is 10th, then Bolton, as Chris Bolton is 11th, then Robinson 12th, Nixon in 13th, then Chapman, Burns, Woodward, Warner, Sargent, Heron, Forster, Cochrane, Drake, Birchall, Gaskin, Atkinson, as they come back round, starting to head towards Agostini, and I just wonder, is Fraser Burns getting a little bit closer to Steve McDermott here?
I think he is. I think you're right, Ian. As they make their way into the braking zone here, will definitely pressure being put on for the battle lead. The 2 leaders now breaking away. Then the 3rd place invitation car of Trent starting to put some gap. But meanwhile, battle side by side there for P5 between Dowell and Ludlow. They're still side by side as they exit the corner. And as they make the way on up here, well, they're going to run their way in towards Hamilton. I think it is going to be Ludlow who's ahead, but it's going to be side by side all the way on through as they make the way in towards Oggy's. And I think with that, it may be Dowell who's got ahead now as they head into the braking zone for Oggy's. There, nice move being made. Further behind, meanwhile, we do still have a few drivers getting it a little bit sideways coming at Agostini, but as they charge their way onto the Bentley straight now, well, goodness me, Ian, what a side-by-side battle there.
I'll tell you, that's the battle for Class B as well. That's going to go all the way to the wire. Ian Bolton will be looking in his mirrors going, go on, guys, touch, have a little spin together. I won't have a problem with that, but it is Bolton who leads Class B from Dowler, and now Ellington's making his way through. He's going to get past Ludlow here, it seems. Different classes, of course, but hey, I think Ian Dowler will quite happily see Ellington in his mirrors rather than Ludlow there. Round they go into the bomb hole. This has been a very, very good opening lap and a half so far. It's about to see Alan Forster coming through as well. Looks like he didn't start from the pit lane like he said he might do.
Oh, indeed. I'll tell you one thing, when I see Forster's car right now, it's making me think of the Volvo Estate race in BTCC in the 90s into the early 2000s. My memory serves me correctly, albeit I was a bit young at that time, but definitely great to see that. A very different car on the grid, trying to do everything it can go. The Montego, of course, but as they make the way now onto what is going to be the next lap, going on to lap number 3 here, will definitely the Class B battle absolutely rage. You know, it's the battle of the 2 Ians being covered by an Ian, and as they make the way on around here, charging their way up towards what will be turn number 1 shortly. We do have a bit of a split of the field starting to emerge, but that means the battles will now become a little bit more personal between our drivers. But our 2 leaders, meanwhile, absolutely charging away as they make the way into Wilson at turn number 2 once again. And with McDermott and Fraser there still close together, and the gap is now standing at 1.3 seconds at the start of this lap. I do reckon, and I think I agree with you from earlier, the fact that right now McDermott is either managing the pace of this race, or alternatively he may be being chased down quite rapidly.
Yeah, although Steve McDermott looks like he's managed to keep that gap the same as it was before. Stuart Tranter just behind him in the Tomcat. He's in the invitational class, so it's not really his race here. I imagine that if the Class B cars do start to get closer, he'll probably just get out the way, to be honest. But here they come. That Class B battle is fascinating. Ian Bolton, Ian Dowler, got Ludlow in there as well. Ellington's just behind in the other yellow Tomcat. I can only tell because it's got the sponsor logo, the brown sponsor logo on the side. We've got Larry in there as well, and Robinson. So look at this battle coming coming into Agostini now. Just trying to see who that is. That's Chapman involved in that, Robinson involved in that, Burns there, and Woodward's hanging around as well. He's going side by side with the other Tomcat, which is Burns in that one. There they go. Wow, wow, wow. What a great race we are seeing here at Agostini. Peter Birchall going round as well. I think a bit of a test day for him, really, just see how he's feeling. Of course, as we know, Peter Birchall runs the MG Cup. He won't mind me saying he did suffer a stroke last year, but it's great to have him back. And he's even putting on a hog roast later. How good is that?
Oh, indeed, something for us to all look forward to. But right now, the only roasting we want to see is the roasting of tyres and brakes here at Snetterton as they make their way roaring on down. We have 3 wide going into Brundle, into Nelson, and it looks as though they're Lowry on a charge, trying to go around the outside of Ellington, and also getting in the mix of Ludlow there as they come on through. We're just going to try and see where they emerge going into a Bombhole corner, but it looks as though they may have just emerged too wide on the exit. And in fact, I think Lowry has made the way past Ellington again, another place as they charged away through Coram. Meanwhile, further on down, we've got a yellow flag now waving, trying to discern what that's been triggered by in terms of an incident. I think we might have a car off elsewhere on circuit. Perhaps it has gone off at Nelson, albeit a bit. That's going to bring a pause to the race for the yellow flag. But I think we're still under race conditions for the time being. But we'll have to wait and see if that does bring out the safety car, of course, as our drivers roar the way on around. And as they do in the meantime, our drivers roar the way onto another lap here. Further down the order, our focus of attention now going through Coram is the battle between the likes of what is their Cochrane, Drake and Birchill. Birchill trying to make some further progress. We also do have a black flag for car 8 for track limit, so they've been caught out there. And that's something they're going to have to be wary of as they push on a little bit more. But everyone now really getting up to speed here as they go deeper and deeper into this race. We've still got 12 minutes left on the clock as they make their way down, but we look to our leaders charging their way down towards Agostini once again. McDermott ahead of Fraser still as they head onto the brakes gap. Now 1.4 seconds, and then the battle for P3. Well, we do have there the Invitational Tranta still holding on, steering clear of Bolton with Dowler behind. That's your top 5, but meanwhile, I think it's going to change very shortly in the fact that we do have their Dowler under pressure as they break the way on in, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. That is the number 63 car, Lowry, that's making even progress. In fact, he's got ahead of Ludlow earlier on in the lap, and right now, well, Ian, goodness me, Lowry is flying.
Yeah, he certainly is. I'm delighted to say that yellow flag has cleared up actually as well. So I can tell you Atkinson is in the pits though. So it looks like Atkinson in the MGC is out of this race. So was trailing at the back, but all more action going on as well. We've got Ian Dowler's family just off to our left. They're making noise, so that must mean something's happening out there, Paul. They're getting really excited. Look, a big lock up there as well from the number 36. That's Drake in his MG ZR170. Currently running in 21st. Let me give you a rundown of the order. We've got 11 minutes, just over 11 minutes of this race to go. It is McDermott who leads from Fraser Burns from Tranta in 3rd in the invitation class. So you're in Class C, your top 2, McDermott, Fraser Burns. Then Tranta in 3rd, then Ian Bolton in 4th, but leader in Class B. He's got Ian Dowler for company, then Dan Ludlow in 6th. Then we've got Lowry, Ellington, Robinson, Nixon, Chapman, Emmett Robinson, the number 14 in Class B. Then Woodward, Burns, Warner, Sargent, Heron, Forster, Cochrane, Drake, Bolton, Birchall, Gaskin. And we've lost Atkinson from this race.
Oh, indeed. Unfortunately, we've lost Atkinson, but we hope to see plenty more of him in the final race of the season. But as our drivers make their way on around the back section of the circuit now, does look as though some of the battles are starting to calm down for a brief moment, but we are at the halfway point of this race. And, well, meanwhile, we do have a couple of battles trying to play out going into what is Nielsen there. A bit of a fight going on between what was, I believe, Cochrane and Drake. And it was they made the way on through. Meanwhile, as they roar the way now up towards Coram Corner, looks as though they've all settled the differences, and we do have what is the Montego of Forster at the back of a group ahead of what is Cochrane and Drake and Bolton on the back of that as they make the way on through. And it looks like the pressure is building on Cochrane, with Drake really trying now to make a move as soon as he possibly can. But as they make the way on through towards the end of the lap, meanwhile we look back to the leaders here, Agostini, and well, that gap now between McDermott and Fraser Burns, it's holding around 1.2 to 1.3 seconds lap on that. So both of these two, I think they're waiting for the other to fall off the metaphorical cliff here as we see a bit of a run wide almost there for McDermott. He's starting to push the limit. Meanwhile, Fraser Burns taking it a bit more smoothly by comparison there. And oh goodness me, we've got a problem with one of the cars here. It's all gone very wrong for one of our drivers in, and I think, unless I'm very much mistaken, that might be Nixon.
It's Ian Dowler. I think it's blown up. I don't believe it. We've got his family just off to the left. it's Ian Dowler who's blown up, and that's going to have huge consequences in Class B. What a shame. I just wonder, we saw it in the Cockshoot Cup when the car went bang, it was Helen Waddington, a lot of oil got spilled. Ian, get out of the car, because there's an awful lot of smoke there, isn't there? I hope it hasn't dropped oil there, because it's just coming straight into the braking point. Did look like he got off the track pretty quick, didn't he? So if there is oil dumped there, I think it might be in the grass verge on the side. But huge drama here in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Ian Dowler, his car has gone bang. He is out of this race. And at the minute, Ian Bolton is comfortably in the lead in Class B. And he's got Lowry for a little bit of company as well. Ludlow behind. There's Ellington and Robinson coming through as well. But big drama here, Paul. What a shame that is in the Class B battle.
Oh, most definitely a real shame. We do have the yellow flags waving going into Agostini, but beyond that, I think things have been cleared. In fact, the flags have been turned off for the brief moment. But as we focus here on the run on around through Corham at this time, well, with the implications of the Class B Championship, everyone elevated a place and therefore now be itching for some even greater points here in this race as they make their way on through. And, well, we can see a little bit of battle building there a bit further on back between two of our drivers. Just trying to discern, I believe that may be the ongoing battle between Forster and Sargent at this time as they make their way through the right-hander, but as they charge away off the corner and get ready to go on to the next lap. We're still under green flag conditions here, ladies and gentlemen, can confirm, and I do believe Dowler might be safely out the car now, or at least the car's being looked at, so that's all positive as the drivers continue to charge on. And looking back to our leaders now as they start to make their way into the 100 infield section, making their way in to that braking zone. And, well, looking at the leaders here, and the gap between McDermott and Fraser Burns has come down. It's been halved, in fact, and now McDermott only 7/10 clear going on to this lap. I think it might be that Fraser Burns now starting to put the hammer down. Perhaps he's been waiting to this second half of the race, and now this is where we're going to see the difference between the two drivers as the pressure rages on, Ian.
Paul, game on. Game on here right now for the outright race win and win in Class C. Yes, it was .692 over the line last time. But Stuart Tranter, I wonder if he might have it looked like he might have hit a bit of oil or something. We've got almost three abreast coming down here. We've got Ellington involved in this, Robinson as well. Nixon's just behind too. So a lot of action going on here at Agostini. There goes Dave Nixon in the white Tomcat, the number 52. He goes through. And we've got massive lock up here. We're almost waiting for the crunch. Somehow they managed to pull out of it. Oh my word, what a place to be. I wonder if something has been dropped down there, because that was 3 or 4 battles we just saw getting a little bit hairy around Agostini, Paul.
Oh, indeed. If there is a little bit of oil down there, then maybe causing the brakes not work. We've got Forster looking up the inside there of the 29 of what is, I do believe, unless I'm very much mistaken, Heron holding the position, but Forster riding the back of him right now like riding a horse, in all honesty. In the fact, just constantly pushing him from corner to corner. And as they make their way on to what will be the last part of the infield section, well, definitely right now, more lockups going into Agostini for some drives. The 36 there of what is Drake up as well, so definitely Agostini now a bit of a danger zone for Solar Drives in terms of locking up on the brakes, but as they roar their way towards the second half of the lap here, we're going into the braking zone for Nelson's Battle. We've got yellow flags aplenty.
Yeah, I've just seen actually Carl Robinson coming down the Bentley Straight. He was going very slow. He was waving everybody past. So I wonder if Carl Robinson has had to just pull up down there. We did have yellow flags very briefly. They've now gone. I'm just trying to see if I can see him. If he's managed to come round Corham up there, but he was going very slow down the Bentley Straight. It is quite difficult. Oh, we've lost Peter Birchall as well. Peter Birchall's in the pits, I'm afraid to say. So Peter Birchall looks like he's out of this one. We've lost Atkinson. We've lost Ian Dowler as well. It's quite difficult on the cars, isn't it, to keep going? It's a power circuit here. It's 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes because Snetterton 300 is a long circuit. But I just wonder with McDermott and Fraser Burns, I wonder if it's just a battle of keeping the car going to the finish. They've got 5 minutes. There's still a few laps. Fastest lap is by Steve McDermott. In fact, he's just done the fastest lap of the race. So we get a little bit concerned with Fraser Burns closing the gap. Well, Steve McDermott was wise to it and said, no, I've got a bit more in the tank here. And he's just done a 2:18.703. So he knows what he's doing, Steve McDermott. He was definitely sandbagging in the assembly area.
I would agree with you there, Ian, and seeing him breaking into Agostini, pointing the car as wide as possible from the corner apex and then turning on in. Right now, he is absolutely glued to the tarmac, giving it everything and trying to put down a mark here, saying this win is his. And as they continue to make their way on and around, well, meanwhile, the hunt for P3 with Trent and the invitation machine, the 220 doing a great job of staying ahead of Lowry in the meantime. But as they come up towards what will be the end of this infield, we've got a bit of a battle here coming side by side, going into Agostini between the 72 and the number 2 there. that being a move made by Emmett versus Woodward as they come on through, and Emmett making the move count, but he's under a bit of pressure here as Woodward's going to try and look around the outside now, going into Hamilton. Well, that's going to be a difficult pass to make, and really Emmett will be able to, well, Woodward will be able to dictate the line as they make the way on through, and as they come in towards the next break, it's going to stay as they were. Meanwhile, as our drivers charge their way outwards, we'll see an elsewhere down the field. We still do have the one taker of Forster holding on there, trying to harass the back of what is Heron, and Heron not giving in whatsoever right now as he dictates the line going into Hamilton there, and Heron doing a good job to keep the rather wide body estate car behind him, it must be said, but as they make the way on towards the straight, it might be a bit of a difficult task here as we are looking further down the order. The number 61 of Cochrane still holding on position. The number 36 of Drake, I suspect, may be now really riding those brakes quite hard. Quite a bit of smoke coming out the back of that car. Hopefully that's not a sign of something worse to come, Ian.
Yeah, smoke still coming. I thought it was tyre smoke as well, but as he went down a straight, it's still coming out the back of the car there. We've lost Ian Dowler from this. We've lost Peter Birchall. We've lost Atkinson. Carl Robinson did not make it over the line either, so he's stuck having completed 5 laps only. So I think it might have been Carl Robinson. We've got yellow flags again, actually, down by Nelson. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see who it is. It's great to see a big grid here, of course, but it does mean that there might be 1 or 2 incidents out there. And so confirmation Carl Robinson has stopped at the side of the track. That was a while ago, so I don't think the yellow flags are because of that now. So we'll have to keep going. Here's our leader, Steve McDermott, getting a little bit out of sorts as he's coming into Agostini. I wonder if that's going to wipe a little bit of momentum out. We've got just over 2.5 minutes, so this will be the penultimate lap of the race. And I still think it's game on. I think it's going to go all the way to the wire. For Class B, though, I'll just keep you updated. McDermott leads Class C. Ian Bolton leads Class B, although Lance Ellington did get past him on the last lap, but Ellington, of course, is in Class C. So that's how it shapes up right now at the sharp end of both classes, Paul.
Oh, indeed. And, well, as the drivers make the way on around here, well, meanwhile, we've got quite the group coming down towards Agostini very shortly. This is the battle for what will be behind the number 70. In fact, as they head onto the brakes, side by side they go, and that is going to be the number 8 ahead of the number 14 as they come on through. And that is a nice defence there being made by Chapman as he tries to also put some pressure on the 52 of Nixon. So those 3 all squabbling over what's effective P8. But meanwhile, a bit further behind, we've also got the chase going on there between what is Emmett and Woodward. Still, the 2 reversed in position, Emmett ahead of Woodward as they make the way towards the end of the infield. But it is groups of 3 aplenty now between our drivers. Further back going down into Agostini, we do have there what is the number 55, and that's being piloted and by, of course, what is Warner, still keeping ahead of the machine of Forster, albeit Bolton, in fact, has got ahead of Forster, and that must have happened in turns 1 or 2, because it's been a change since they've crossed the line. So a bit of a surprise there, Ian. And also just confirmation, the 36 of Drake has received the black and orange flag, and that will be for the damage on the car.
Well spotted that, Paul. Just a quick note as well made to me by Charles. Lance Ellington got past Ian Bolton, as we said before, but he is in Class C. We've still got yellow flags, as you can see. Oh, who is that? Is that? I'm just trying to see. We've lost Drake, as we know. I really hope that's not number 14 and Dennis Robinson in Class B. I've got a sneaky feeling it might be. I hope I'm wrong. If I get it right, I apologise. We will clear it up for you. Obviously out of the car and everything's fine. Looks like a mechanical failure. But Charles just made a very good point. Lance Ellington in Class C just got past Ian Bolton on the last lap. Of course, he's Class B, so that doesn't matter. However, he's closing the gap on Simon Lowry. Now, that matters because that would be for the final podium place in Class C. So keep an eye on that one. Lowry in his the number 63 in his MG ZS 180. Ellington in his Rover 220 Turbo. And suddenly, despite a poor start, Lance Ellington is trying to dance his way onto the podium here.
Oh, indeed, it's a delicate dance as we head on to this final lap. In fact, he's done it by looks of things, or no, he's not. We are just waiting to see, ladies and gents, but this distance, of course, eyesight being one of those things that we're grateful to have as they make their way down. In fact, it does look as though at this time, Trans are still holding off of Lowry there as they make their way into the break-in zone of Agostini, and closing up is Ellington now. So Ellington on a charge as they make the way on through. It's going to be very close in this battle for the 3rd place, the overall podium, as they come on out of Agostini, and I think it might be Lowry giving it one last shot here, as meanwhile, a bit further back, side by side, start to build up into Agostini, and, well, that's going to be the battle between Nixon and Chapman, and also top of that Robinson, and well, the number 14 of Robinson goes on through. It's found its way past Chapman there, but can it hold on given the fact that right now I think Nixon's acting as a little bit of a rolling roadblock for the 2 of them as they got a lot of pace, but Nixon, to be fair, can defend that just as well as the others, Ian.
Yeah, great racing. Great to see, isn't it? Just confirmation as well, by the way. It wasn't Mr. Robinson. Apologies. Andrew Herron, who's parked at the end of the Bentley Straight. Obviously out of the car. Everything's fine. Obviously some sort of mechanical issue. Right, we are in the closed stages now. This is the final lap of the race, barring an absolute miracle, because I can see Steve McDermott going around Coram now. Steve McDermott is going to pick up the win here. I think he's going to be very, very pleased with that. He said the car feels a little bit alien. He's not quite used to it yet. Well, it's not too bad, is it? Because you turn up and you go and win race one. He's heading over the line now. Steve McDermott, he's going to take the checkered flag. He does. So Steve McDermott is your overall winner, Class C winner. Fraser Burns comes home in second place. Now we're going to find out whether Ellington managed to get past Larry. Did he manage to sneak that final podium position in Class C? Where are they? We can see him now. And that's Tranter, Lowry and Ellington in that order. So Tranter's going to hold on to third place on track, but of course he's in the invitation class, so wouldn't pick up any points. He is going to win the invitation class, but that's because Atkinson retired early on. So there we go. So Tranter is over the line. Lowry did hold on for fourth place on circuit. However, third place in Class C. Ellington comes home in fifth. Ian Bolton comes home in sixth, but takes the win in Class B. Now that could have huge ramifications, certainly with Ian Dowler sadly retiring with what looked like, well, something went bang, didn't it? Not good at all. Ludlow comes home in 7th. Dave Nixon is in 8th. Chapman is 9th. Robinson is 10th. Burns has now come over the line in 11th. Emmett is 12th. Woodward is 13th. What we will do is, there is Steve McDermott. We'll just pop it on him, celebrating, being a happy man, no doubt. He's got the window open. Probably put his arm out, fists all around, the happiness. And Fraser Burns looks pretty cheerful too. They've had a good battle, this one, haven't they?
Oh, indeed. And whilst it wasn't a side-by-side battle, to see those two for the 20 minutes push each other hard, and well, at first it looks like McDermott had control, but in the second half of the race, Fraser Burns delivering some phenomenal laps, and McDermott every time going faster, in fact going purple, setting the fastest lap and making his way on through now. Lowry with hand out the window, celebrating there. In fact, he will pick up P3 overall once Tranter from the Invitational class, of course, third place on the circuit, but not scoring any points. So Lowry will be very happy with that. But now, as we can see, the number 70 of Ludlow coming on through. We'll be mindful of the fact that things haven't quite worked out in this race, with the Bolton finishing ahead of him, and that is going to really level the playing field in the Class B Championship going into the final race of the season tomorrow, and that is going to be an absolute thriller between them. But I think our drivers here all pushing hard, and well, despite the fact multiple yellow flags we saw over the course of the race in no safety car whatsoever, it did get a bit sketchy into Agostini at certain points though.
Oh, we picked a good spot here, haven't we? We really have seen some great racing. Yes, no safety car, so we got the full 20 minutes uninterrupted. Yeah, a few yellow flags, but par for the course, I think, isn't it, in any level of motorsport, especially when it's such a big grid of 25 cars as well. TSL's on your screen, so you can see for yourself the classified results from this one. There might be a few changes, do obviously keep checking back. We will be back tomorrow as well for the final race. Oh, I'm so sad. The final race of the season for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. We'll have a little bit behind the scenes action for you as well. I really hope you enjoyed that one. Paul, thanks so much for your insight. Now, that was a cracking race, wasn't it? So, a little bit more going on than the race we had earlier due to that safety car.
Oh, definitely. It was a thrilling 20 minutes. Well, I think we'll both agree we would have wished it would have gone a little bit longer to see how McDermott and Fraser Burns could have perhaps come a bit closer together, but still, we'll take the sprint as it is, and a fantastic one at that. But now all the drivers, of course, will be looking after today and thinking, right, one more race to go. Check over the car, make sure they haven't pushed it too hard. I think some of them may have pushed it a bit over the boundary there, Ian, to be honest. But still, that's what we love to see. Everyone giving it their best here in one of the best places in the UK to go racing, particularly at the club level.
Right, there you go. That's race one for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup over. Not quite done for us today, though. We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, we have race one for the MG Trophy as well. The best place to watch it is Live Sport Now on YouTube. Click that link in the body of this broadcast, and we will see you in a bit. Thanks for watching.
We're skanking the rave. Run with coke, no shanks in the rave.
Kingston, Harlem, Brooklyn, Atlanta, London, New York, LA, Paris, Kingston, Ireland, Paddock, away, yes!
To win, sorry, to draw the game.